goes away, right? So it's not a distraction. As we move through the school year, now most of the time I'll probably record the morning class, but if the morning class like goes off the rails and things don't go right, or if my hard drive fills up or something like that, we might end up recording the afternoon class. But if you want, when you come in to check, like, hey, did you record this morning? Because I try to record every single day. Now, how would you get to that class recording? Because if you go to YouTube and search Micah Hudson, which is my name.
Sophia Price to the office, please. Sophia.
M-I-C-A-H. Hudson like the river. Watch what happens. Yeah, you didn't know I'm a pro football player, did you? Yeah, that's not me. This is not me. So, you need to also put the word math. I mean, you might even be able to put the word nerd. I don't know if that'll work. But so, this is me. Yeah, all three. Those are not all your homework. You just should get all three so you already have them. Sorry, I hear people still talking about the homework. All three. 211, 212, 213. They're just the next homeworks. I have them, so I figured I'd give them to you. So, if we go to my page, guys, I've taught over 1,000 students. Trust me, no one random on the internet is subscribing to me. These are all previous students. But yeah, I have almost 2,000 videos because I record pretty much one of each of my classes, so 2 classes this year, every single day. So you would just come to videos, and as long as you have latest clicked, you're probably going to see today's class, which is also why I try to record in the morning, so it's there by the time you might be looking. Obviously, I haven't recorded anything recently because by the time we got into like April and May, we were doing other stuff and I wasn't teaching like normal. And we were in the middle of a homework contest for those of you with good eyes that can actually read that. So if you search Micah Hudson Math, click videos, you should be able to see what happened in class that day. Yes.
What's your most popular video?
I don't know, and you can figure that out. So again, expectations for checking homework. Except now we're stepping up to what I was going to wait till next week, but I decided it doesn't really matter. Pencils should be out of your hands. The only thing you should have in your hands right now, if you want a writing utensil in your hand, is a highlighter, a pen, something permanent. Colored pencil, whatever, but no one should be holding a pencil because no one's copying down answers, right? Hey, if you really want to copy answers, you now know I'm recording class and it's going to end up on YouTube. You got to copy on your own time. I'm not dumb. I know that you guys have ways to copy things. If you want to shoot yourself in the foot before running the race, that's up to you. But you should actually do the practice work and learn the math instead of trying to cheat and copy. What? That you guys will? I think when I first started recording classes, I probably maybe did, but I always like kind of turn it on as like my teacher mode of like, what's this man? Like, something I don't act any different. Hopefully you guys don't feel like you need any different. So graphs will vary. I'm not making a graph for you. Your graph doesn't need to match my graph, right? Like whatever you graph. Now remember, if you want to break an axis, you don't have to do this because you're only in 7th grade. Like I'm not going to count it wrong if you forgot to do this. You can do a little lightning bolt thing and then start at whatever number you want. It's just kind of better for showing, hey, my axis is not actually scaled appropriately. It's all compressed. But then it should be scaled appropriately, right? I goofed. And if you goofed, don't redo this. I did heights instead of shoe sizes. But this is still worth it to talk about a box plot. What you used to know as a box and whisker plot, yeah, that's because you were kids, and they wanted to make it sound, like a cat. This is why I teach middle school, high school. It's a box plot. That's what it's called. Yes, it still has whiskers. We just don't call it a box and whisker plot. So, box plots. I had a couple people come and check about this, and I realized I forgot to put it in the notes. Your median is the middle of the box plot. Shoe sizes, the shoe sizes are closer together. Joe, you okay? Because what you're doing is distracting me. So then, you find the median of the lower half, and that's the end of your box. You find the median of the upper half, that's the end of your box. And then your whiskers go out to your minimum and your maximum. That thing. In a box plot, it breaks up your data so that each of these sections is 25% of your data. So this middle box is the primary 50%. It's like the core 50%, because they say the other 25% are might be extraneous, they might be outliers, they might be they might get far away. Like a box plot makes each section 25%.
I did that with the shoe size.
You're supposed to do it with the shoe size. I goofed. This was, did we talk about, I was probably doing this in an airport or on a trip, and yes, I'd get distracted because, I like to people watch. So in the airport, I was probably half people watching, half doing math. All right, well, hopefully it's not too fun. So I was in the airport last Christmas. I was supposed to go to Mexico. When Southwest, I don't know if anyone heard, Southwest totally melted down, completely every plane, literally they stopped flying. Spent all day in the airport. I was really proud of people. No one lost their cool. No one yelled at anyone. I mean, everyone was frustrated, but everyone was cool. I was very happy with the world that day. Number line, box plot, do what it says, right? It has directions. Read them, follow them. Practicing averaging. Right, finding the mean, add up what you got, divide by how many you got. Add up what you got, divide by how many you got. Doubt we need to review that more. Who struggled with D? Because 5 people came and asked me about D. D was a little tricky. It tripped some people up.
I did D backwards.
You had to it doesn't matter which, you can have 8, -1, it doesn't matter. But yeah, you had to realize, oh, I need 1 positive, 1 negative. So go ahead and check these. I'll give you a moment. Yeah. I think I'll do 90 because when you add up the 3 scores and divide, I'll forget if I don't do it now. If you swipe, it wants to throw to the next page. 83.6. So you probably rounded. So 84 is fine. Hey, so the more I see/hear people just talking tells me we don't need to check this. Either you're super confident or you didn't do it yet. So if we don't need to check this, I got class to teach. But otherwise, we should be checking, kind of looking back and forth. We were trying to do these without a calculator to double check that we remember these rules. It's okay if you got something wrong. But you should go back and be crap, what did I do? Why did I get this wrong? Let's not do that again. Right? Make that mental note of crap, how did I get that wrong? And guys, if I made a mistake, let me know, because I make mistakes, shoe size versus height. Any questions on the diamonds? Any diamonds that didn't make sense? To add fractions, common denominators are better.
What is AB? Oh, it's AB.
AB, A plus B.
I thought it was an A in it. It was fucked up. I thought it was an A, and then I thought it was an N, and then I thought it was an A.
It's okay. Those are things that I definitely will not count off. Because we don't have points. Right? I'm not going to take points off because we don't have points. You get a check if you put in good effort on your homework and you tried to keep the whole thing, got help if you needed it. Alex?
For D, can you put X next to X? You have to do X.
So yeah, x would be x times x, which is also x squared.
And then X plus X I also did on the bottom.
Yeah. So 2x is x plus x. Yep. So that's fine. Minus a negative is plus a positive, right?
Yeah.
If you take away bad guys, that's a good thing, right? If you get rid of debt, that's a good thing, right? Minus a negative is a good thing. It's addition. Yes.
So, the last question, why is there why is there a number 1? It looks
What do you mean the last one?
The last question, that equals 10. It looks like a number 1.
This is L.
That's an
I
F.
thought
Yeah,
that was a
sorry.
1.
No, that's an L. You're not the first person to do that.
It looks
This
like
is just 3 plus 2 plus 5.
It
Which, yes,
But I
I
got
know,
it right.
feels way too the bad word, but yeah, we're just 3 plus 2
I
plus
thought it was a trick question. I was questioning my math knowledge for
I
about 5
don't do
minutes.
trick questions. I tell like bad jokes. I don't do trick questions.
A little off topic, but why is there a box of brown coffee?
We will be doing that as soon as we get done checking homework. All of the mysteries of the coffee can will be unveiled.
Is it coffee?
No, sorry, it's not coffee.
Are there magnets?
I like my job too much to give 12-year-olds coffee. I don't think you're supposed to drink coffee. Sorry about my like lavender color. But we need to keep change flip on that one. So sorry that this is kind of hard to see, especially if you're at an angle. But this becomes 11/4 times 7/3 because we keep change flip. I don't know if that makes it any easier to see or worse. So division.
I got confused.
Hey, like saying I did this wrong is unhelpful. Listening to how to do it right is more helpful. Division of a fraction. We will talk more about this, a lot more about this. But division by a fraction is actually multiplication of that reciprocal. So if you've never learned keep, change, flip before, like we'll formalize, we'll write it down at some point, but that's what happens here. If you didn't know what to do, check CPM homework help, check math notes, like ask somebody for help, come see me, ask for help, like do something about it, right? If you didn't know what to do. Yeah, I think it's easier to set up like this. So B, everyone look at B because you probably didn't do this on B, and that's fine. B is a great example of multiple ways to do things. I remember that all we're supposed to be doing right now is checking homework, so I hope we're not doing homework. Because like I really want you to look up here and like stop doing what you're doing right now and look at what happened. Division can always be set up as a fraction. But then I'm allowed to do whatever I want as long as I do it, well, okay, whatever I want with multiplication and division. As long as I do it on top and bottom. So I multiplied by 100. And I multiplied by 100. So just turn these into whole numbers. And then they were easy to work with. Send them out.
That's what I did.
That's what
There
I
you
did.
go. It's because y'all are smart.
Yay! I've never been called smart. I haven't done it.
Are you sure no one's ever said, like, you have a smart mouth or anything?
Yeah.
No.
Never that. No.
Alright. Averages. Mean, average, average, mean. The words are interchangeable. I'm sorry that there are 2 of them. I wish there was only one. But mean and average mean the exact same thing. They are interchangeable. Stem and leaf plot. Great way to organize data. You take whatever is not the ones digit, put it in the stem. Try to keep things in order vertically and in order horizontally, like lowest to greatest.
I like it.
And a stem and leaf. What is a stem and leaf if you turn it sideways, 90 degrees? Like, what did you essentially make, Owen? What kind of graph? Yeah, if you turned this sideways, we essentially made like a bar graph. More specifically, we made a histogram. We'll keep doing this year, but if you turn this sideways, you made a histogram. Which if you don't remember what a histogram is, that's fine. We'll review it this year. Yes.
So I'm confused. Are you supposed to do on that one? Like, were you supposed to pick one and just do it?
What do you mean?
Like
For 22? Or sorry, for 38. My brain looked there. For 38, we're talking?
yeah.
Okay.
Do all of them?
Yeah, so it said arrange the data, which always means like all of it, unless they tell you something specific, into a stem and leaf. So, and this was still from last year when I didn't have math notes printed for you guys yet, but I don't know if I put stem and leaf in these math notes. I don't think I did. You can always Google, but I mean, I would just use CPM homework help. So like 22 is this 2 and that 2, right? So this is 15, 19, 22, 27, 30, 33, 4, no 40s, 51. Right, because I had nothing in the 40s. I forget, and I'm like being honest, I forget if you're supposed to put the number there and then leave it blank. I think that's how it's supposed to be done. Because if you put a 0, like that's 30. Right? So I can't put a 0 there. I think you just put the number and leave it blank.
So for question it said to like list measures of which
So measures of central tendency, that's mean and median.
yeah.
Right? Those are pretty much, yeah.
So it was saying that, and then I listed more than.
So that's okay. Like, this is what I was mainly looking for, because these are the main measures of central tendency that we know. There's also, like, the quartiles and different stuff, but, like, as long as you talk about mean or median, that's great. Yeah, you overachieve. You're good. It's all good. All right, the next problem was estimation. Guys, you do not need to have the same answer as me. I like to make boxes. So I like kind of drew a box around this and I said, this is about 9 wide. It's about 6 tall. Like, I don't know, maybe like 54. And guys, it's okay if your answer is not the same as mine. I'm not saying that my answer is right. I estimate it. So, I mean, if you want to count each individual box and try to take the partial boxes, that's up to you. But this just asked us to estimate. Estimations are not looking for exact answers. And continue the pattern. Whoop. 1 and a 2, 2 and a 3, 3 and a 4. So what's next? A 4 and a 5. Arlo, is that actually a hand? Okay, well, that's why I asked. Like, with the door there, I know, with the door there, it's like tempting to just kind of like reach up and hang on. And yeah, that's tonight's homework. All right, cool. Before you put your, ooh, wait, Henry. Yeah, right. Because like sometimes when you zoom, like if I take this back to 100%, it might look better. Right? Sometimes zooming makes it look weird. But Joe.
With that homework, with the border of the shape.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be 16, not 9?
Nope. So if you imagine like cookies or something that involves dough. I don't know if you've ever like cooked or baked or anything. So imagine you roll out dough that is 5 by 5. That 5 by 5 is 25 square inches or whatever unit you're working with. Then you grab your like pizza cutter or dough cutter, whatever you want, and you cut out a 4 by 4. Yeah. That 4 by 4 is 16. We pick that up and set it aside. How much dough do I still have? Well, that would be 25 minus 16. So now, does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta think about food. Guys, I relate food to math like all the time.
That's 5 tomatoes in a while.
This is gonna be another one of those I want to give you directions and then just give you freedom. Okay? So, here's what we're doing. With your blank paper, because you don't want to use graph paper because it's going to make you mad. If you use graph paper, that's fine, but it might make you frustrated because things won't line up. Hey, hold on. Like, stop moving for a moment. So I just want to tell you what's happening and then let you do it. I believe if the morning class actually spoke up if they needed to, in your coffee cans, you should have each type of algebra tile. What we are going to do is make a reference page for our notebook of what the algebra tiles are called and what their dimensions are. So, here, hold on, stop moving! Because you're making it harder for me, and if you can't tell, my throat's already hurting because we've been teaching for a week.
Wow.
So, yeah.
A lot of weeks to go.
I know, I just haven't talked this much over the summer because my friends didn't want to hang out with me. No, so, stop moving! Stop moving. What you're going to want to do is title your page and make a little reference that on our homework papers, I got people not listening because you're playing with the tiles like they're toys, which I don't really care after I'm done with directions. Once you get done with this, play with it like it's toys. I don't care. I love Legos. Right now, I need you listening. So, on homework paper, because it has to print out in black and white, shaded in is positive. Empty is negative. So what you're essentially going to do is take a tile, trace it, and then label it how you think it should be labeled. So if I tell you that this is a 1 tile, you'll probably be able to figure out, okay, if it's a 1 tile, it's a 1 by a 1. But then this tile, anyone want to try to name this?
1 by 5.
Yeah, it's like a 5 tile, right? So I could draw it on my paper and show that it's a 1 by a 5. Then we start to get into unknowns. Guys, I would say I hate to tell you, but I actually love doing this sort of stuff. This is not the size you think it is. This is deceiving. Because right now, it looks like it's this big. And right now, if I try to line it up, it looks like it's like 3.5. That's not true. So that blue tile is your X, right? Today, X looks this big. Today. Tomorrow, X might be this big. The next day, X might be this big. The next day, X might be back to this size. X changes. So when we draw this, do not try to label this like 3.5, 3.6. That's not what it is. It's X. And then the next one is X squared. So then the other tiles, I want to see if you guys can figure out what we would call the other tiles. There are more. Look through your coffee can. Make sure you get 1 of each on your paper.
Then you would be a different variable.
You're going to draw, you're right, you would need other variables.
Why do you have so much coffee?
Because I'm old.
You can do them all.
That's what I predicted. You need to
You
get
know
on
what
the
else
band.
it is? More expensive.
Well, it's still better.
Okay, buy it.
Buddy,
I'll do that. I'll
you're
take
addicted.
No, I really like, Starbucks is fine. I don't think
Oh,
it's
I
worth,
got some more.
I don't think it's worth the money. Like, it's expensive.
I would make Starbucks now.
Yeah, well, not like well, but I know you can.
Yeah. So basically, he bought one of the students in Harry Starbucks because he wanted to smells like coffee.
Well, yeah, coffee's smell is pretty strong.
It's so good.
Especially when it's roasted.
Speaking of smells, some of you, and I don't know if it's in this room or not, but some of you are starting to smell like middle school. Which, while we're excited that you're growing up and like going through puberty and whatever, we don't really want to smell you. Please make sure you are showering. Like, especially our athletes, or if you just go outside after school, please make sure you're showering. You might need to start showering in the morning before you come to school if you sweat at night. We're probably actually going to talk about this at forum because the hallway was stanky earlier. So, please keep getting your time. Now, make sure you got a label on your paper. Make sure you made a little reference for the shaded in and the unshaded. If the first variable we use is X, what do you think the next variable we might use? Well, because I asked. Because we're in math class talking about that. I know you meant Y, like the letter.
Stop cheating the table.
Y would be the next one. You know, like the graph is tracing. And you usually follow the directions you're supposed to do. This is a lot of time. This is X. And the red is negative. That's why they all have that side. So first things first, you need to put a header on this piece of paper. It's actually supposed to be a blank piece of paper. So Tommy, what would be better is to use one of these so that you're not getting frustrated by the lines, like interacting with stuff. Or you want to switch your piece of paper?
Wait, no, which one did you
I
put?
mean, they're sorry, they're right. I put it like well,
I'm so freaking confused. I need my 6th grade math.
Do you use X?
right. not because x times y already is multiplying the x squared is x squared because it's x times x. Y squared is y squared because it's y times y. But when it's x times y, nothing is double. Right? It's like there's only x and only y. You literally can just write it as xy. But when it's x times x, you can shove the other and say x squared.
Mr. Hudson,
I do.
would you ever use the term YX?
I hate it.
Yes.
Like what do you mean?
Better than fractions. Oh, no, I love fractions.
I don't like the sound
No,
Y.
wait, no, like the areas.
Yeah, the 5 one looks like 5.
No, I didn't like the surface area.
I thought that was
This better not be X by
Why will you be upset if it is something?
Mr. Hudson, what is your opinion on surface area?
That it covers a lot.
No, like, what do you think of it? Like, what's your relationship with it? 'Cause last year we had to do it, like, several times, and I hated every single time.
Yeah, we'll do surface area this year.
I don't like surface area at all. What? Okay,
You're choosing to not work as efficiently as you could, just by the way.
Where's the dad? Now go to this. He's like, is this stuff?
I think a lot of us have figured out what the green one is, but in case you haven't, it's XY. Because this edge lines up with our X tiles.
Oh, it does.
This edge lines up with the Y tile. It's XY. So please make sure that on your paper as you're doing this, you have the name of the tile, which is its area inside of it. Right? The value inside is the area. And then we're going to have the dimensions. So like 1 by y, 1 by x, x by x, y by y. These are all the tiles that should exist. We mainly use x and x squared, and the ones. I know, I write them. They don't work. Not
May I
necessarily.
please have Isa Raleigh to the office? Isa, thank you.
Now, when we're using the actual tiles, not like a printed paper, but when we're using the actual tiles, what do you think the red side represents? Negative. Yeah, it's the negative value. I'm going to give you guys like 2 or 3 more minutes. Because, I mean, we could always finish this later if we need. Yeah.
5 by 1. Oh, this one? Yeah, I played.
Y squared.
Oh, there it is.
Y.
And also this.
I think it was
into 3x is not 3 of these because these are x squared. 3x is 3 of these, right? So double check that you actually got the x's out. So we need 3 of those. Boop ba doop ba doop. Math has sound effects, by the way, if you've never been informed. Plus, hey, we got too many side conversations. Plus, what's next? Just shout it out. We can just do 5. So I can just do the 5 tile, or you could do 5 individual 1 tiles. Up to you. What's next? X squared. So that is the square now. What's next?
Y.
Because I asked you. What's next? 3x. Oh, 3x squareds.
Oh,
plus what?
2.
So now, if you're at all like me and mildly OCD, where like, I want things how I want them, which is also why I'm much happier now that my room is more symmetric with that other round table out in the family room now. If you didn't notice, yeah, we changed tables. What do you think needs to happen with these tiles, Henry?
Combine the 2 with the 5 and combine all the x squared.
And in math, we call that combining like terms. So we're actually going to do the x squareds. If you want to be technically right, we're going to push the x squareds first, then the x's. Now, you could choose where the y goes. Most of the time, we won't have y. Hey, Jagger and Arlo, you're really making me feel like you don't care what's happening up here. You could decide where the y goes, but then we've got the 5 and the 2 making 7. So if we were to write this out, right, if we were to write this out, how many x squareds do we have?
4.
So all together now, right, we don't care about it was 3 and was what? 4x squared. What would I write next? 3x. What do I write next? And
7.
by the way, the plus sign, like, literally is representing and, right? So when people say and, it is, like, really, it's the addition. It's and, like, I need you to go to the grocery store and get hamburgers and buns and lettuce. It's addition. Oliver?
Should we be writing?
You could if you think you need it, but it's also part of your homework. So, like, you're going to do it in your homework. You're going to practice it then. Henry?
Well, according to ELA, you would just say hammers, things, and then to the next thing you would say
Yeah.
So that means that math is everywhere.
Whoa, don't challenge me about math being everywhere. Let me check what else is... Oh, we're almost out of time. That's not fun. Rude.
Sorry, I just don't like math.
Hold up.
Like, it's
Hey.
not you, it's me.
Hey, give me 30 more seconds, because I got 45, but I only want 30. Ah!
Please have soap transferred to the office.
So...
Thank you.
So, this is where highlighters are really convenient. Hey guys, I'm going to have you put all the tiles away in a moment. But like, so if you're working through a problem and you're like x squared with x squared, like you do not have to use the same colors that the tiles are, because you might not always have the same colors. But this is where highlighters can help you group things up and like make it visually indicating. So, tiles back in the coffee can, please. Please pick up the ones that fall on the floor. They're the same color as the floor. Like, the blue ones are pretty much identical.
I know.
Or like, yeah, that purple, blue, like, yeah, it's like, well, the red is easier to see. Right?